Today, pretend that your friend Joe is a math teacher because I'm going to talk to you about the birthday problem. And to all the smart Alex in the class that have already heard this before, just keep your mouth shut. I would have been one of those smart Alex in school, I'm going to be real. I was that type that, like, when somebody says a riddle that I've heard before, I just blurt out the answer, maybe before they're even finished saying it. So anyway, birthday problem. You take 23 people, put them in the same room. What are the odds that two of those people have the same birthday? 23 people, same birthday, among any two of them. If you're like me, you hear that and go, well, there's 365 days in the year, so the odds that two people are going to have the same birthday in there is pretty slim. I don't know, 10%, maybe less. It's a 50% chance that two of those people among 23 have the same birthday. Now, of course, you hear that, and that doesn't make any sense. What? That few people, and it's already a coin toss whether two of those people have the same birthday. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And by the time that you get up to 30 people, I think it's like 70%. It gets extremely high past that point. It's very, very safe to guess that two people will have the same birthday in a much smaller group than you probably expect. Now, a really good mathematician could sit down and explain this to you step by step. I'll do my best to just give you the glaze over. It's because if you have one person, and then you add another, the odds that this person does not have the same birthday as this person is 364 out of 365, right? Because they can occupy 364 of those days of the year. You add another person. That person can't have the same birthday as either of the first two, so you have to multiply that probability that nobody has the same birthday by 363 out of 365, and the next person 362 over 365, and so on and so on. You got to do that 1 times 22 of those fractions, right? And by the time that you do that equation, you've gotten down to about 0.5 as the result. 50-50. Okay, so I could lay out that equation for you right now, and you would understand it from a math perspective. But the human intuition perspective, I could say, yes, I totally understand that at an intellectual level. And then I look at a group of 23 people, I'm just like, there is no way that the odds are that high that two of those people have the same birthday. Even knowing full well that that's the case, even sitting there with my pencil for a little while, it's still just will not ever sit right with my intuition. There's just a level of knowing that cannot ever actually get to sitting right with you, It's like I remember this optical illusion of taking these two shades and asking, what's this color and what's this color? It turns out they're actually the same color. It's just that this one is surrounded by a bunch of colors that make it look different by comparison to this one over here. But you remove all the rest of the color on the screen, and sure enough, those two isolated squares are exactly the same color. But then when you put back all those other colored squares to purposely deceive the eyes, you can't tell anymore. It looks like they're two different colors. It's just interesting how that works. I don't know what's best to follow. Your general intuition or what you've read in a book. I think either of them has their limitations. For as much as I've had to learn to navigate my way from just school book information in order to just have the real experience of living, it's important to remember that there's still a place for that book stuff. Because it can give you insights that you will simply never be able to detect through your natural senses, through your gut feelings. This feeling system is always going to be a somewhat flawed one. This human feeling system. And all that we can do is just be aware of those flaws. And that's how we rise above them. So in conclusion, in this room, the odds that I have the same birthday as myself is 100%.